Hi there. It's been a while since I demonstrated how I use my jigger arm, Shimpo, Shimpo jigger arm. I did that at Michigan Mud Clay Conference in the spring, and I had a lot of questions about how I make my molds, and I've been wanting to kind of show everybody how I figured this out step by step. So when you order and you get this really great tool, the jigger arm, it's really well made, fits on most 12-inch Shimpo wheels, and I specifically got this one because it works with my jigger arm and I use this a lot. So I had to figure out though, how do I make a mold with it? Because you get this piece of equipment and you don't get anything else. Although I do know that Shimpo is about to come out with ready-made molds and profiles. They're actually going to ship me it to test it. So I'll show things about that soon, hopefully, and share what my experience with that. But I want to make my own molds, maybe you do too, and you are looking to create your own forms and you don't know how. So this is how I figured it out. I got a springform pizza pan, and I attached it to my wheel, the base of the springform pizza pan. It's got this lip, which is like the really important part. I also attached acrylic inset that I thought this inset would be helpful with my molds. Turns out it's not needed. Your bat pins are really all you need to make this work. And so what you first have to do is you have to cut your profile. You can cut it out of wood. These are laser cut out of acrylic. And to do that, like I'm doing a bowl right now. So for a bowl, you need your profile that cuts the mold. And then you need your matching profile, slightly smaller, that is going to create your actual jiggered or jollied piece. Jollying is when you're making a bowl. And you do the same thing for a plate, but opposite. The actual mold would just be the smooth one, and then the jiggered part would be the part that has your foot for a plate. I can demonstrate that in a later video. So you attach it. This piece here can move. You can loosen the bolts on this side. You can move it. You need to make sure it is just slightly over center so that when you cut your mold, it cuts the whole entire mold and you don't have a little piece kind of missing in the middle. You take your springform pizza pan and you attach it to your base of your springform pan. Once you've used this 4 or 5 times, it gets loose. So then you take your ratchet strap and ratchet strap it tightly onto your base. So when that ratchet strap is on, it slipped a little bit. You want to make sure that it's really tight to your springform base. So that's all good, great, and grand for like a shallow plate, but I'm making a bowl. So this is just kind of what vinyl baseboard, I guess, from the home store. I think I got it from Lowe's. And so I figured out that if I put this on, I could get more height, which would enable me to make taller things. Now, if you can't find that, I mean, you can put a slab of clay in there that's taller, but then you're using a lot of clay. This can be reused lots and lots and lots of times. So speaking of clay, I always seal my edges, and I do that with just a coil of clay. It doesn't have to be pretty. The thing about molds, everyone has a different kind of idea about how they like their molds to be. The interior of your mold is what really matters, and so the exterior of my molds may not be the prettiest thing, but they work and you can use them over and over and over again. And so I'm not going to have this really beautiful smooth exterior because I'm going to have this kind of lumpy bottom edge with how I put this coil down. But when I first started, I did it without the coil, And sometimes it would work, and other times there would be a huge giant mess. So pretty quickly after I've made a couple messes, I realized there had to be a coil every single time. And so I put that coil in and make sure it is nice and tight and sealed just on that little bottom edge. You want to make sure that it's not too close to your bat pins because you're going to need those to be, those are the important parts. That's what your mold attaches to on your wheel. So you want that to be really nice. I have a little gap there because I was just too lazy to go buy another piece of this after I cut it slightly short. I guess I could do that, but it hasn't happened. So I just add a little coil of clay in here. And it works just fine. Like I said, it's not about the exterior of your mold. It's about the interior being exactly right. So at that point, I take my petroleum jelly and I give my interior a good swipe. This just really helps with release and cleanup. My cleanup is much easier if I have petroleum jelly on everything, and my release is easy. It's just kind of a no-brainer to use that every time when you're making a mold. So when I make molds, I usually take, it's like that's what I'm doing that day. And I make multiple molds, make as many as you want with this profile, right? If you're wanting to make a run of 10 molds, because this is a form that you're going to be producing a lot, and it's like one of your main kind of production forms, well, then you're going to be doing molds all day and making your big mess. And then after that, you can get on to all of the other things you want to do. So mold making is really like something you set aside time to do, and that's all you're doing. And then you shouldn't have to do it again for a while, because these molds can be used for, gosh, depending on what it is, 50 to 100 times. So it just depends on your mold. So now that I'm all oiled up, I actually forgot, I do need to grab my the last thing that I do, and I learned this from Jessica Brandel, and it works really well. These little rubber grommets. They're just, there it goes, from the hardware store. And if you pop these onto your bat pins, that your mold will pour over those, and these little rubber grommets will get embedded in your mold. And then every time you put your mold on and off, your bat pins won't damage your mold at all. You won't get chips or anything like that, because it'll set right into those rubber grommets, and it'll be a perfect fit every time. It'll be exactly where you need it. So this is how I prep to make a mold.